So the first formula I want to ask you about, Dan, is the hydrate and soften formula.
All right. Well, that's an interesting formula because what we're doing is we're blending the natural hydrating properties of seaweed, which is 50% polysaccharides by weight. Now, polysaccharides are complex sugars that have tremendous anti-inflammatory properties along with their super moisturizing properties. And into that, we add the oxygen and the hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a super moisturizer, and the liquid oxygen, because it is neither liposoluble, that is fat soluble, and it's not soluble in water, will actually add some volume to the skin. So it gives you a little bit more of a softening effect on wrinkles while it's hydrating.
The next formula, we call it build and tone because it was something that we were looking for that would provide support and collagen building to the skin. So tell us a little bit about that one if you would.
Well, the oxygen here plays a more important role in this formula. It helps in increasing cellular metabolism and washing away all the carbon dioxide that's present around the skin's dermal matrix. Now, what that means is that each cell, because it's metabolizing at a higher efficiency, you're going to have a better cellular turnover. And into that, we've also added the polysaccharide fucose, which is from laminaria algae, which has been shown to build the connective tissue matrix that supports the skin. So it gives the skin more firmness. And then finally, the hexapeptide 11 is one of our great polypeptides used for skin rejuvenation. So this is a formula that has oxygen, peptides, and fucose from seaweed.
People are loving this formula as well. Another formula that has been really received well is the clear and soothe.
Well, there, the oxygen does play a role, but not as important as in build and tone. But there, our salicylic acid, which is beta-hydroxy acid. It's a larger molecule, so it tends to not penetrate as deeply and stays around the pores, dissolving the grease that's built up there and improving the flow of sebum naturally. And in doing that, you have some exfoliation and decongesting that occurs in the pores. Now, combined with that, you have tea tree oil and some other essential oils of rosemary. The tea tree is a highly antiseptic oil, which really supports the work of the salicylic acid, while the rosemary is calming to the sebaceous glands. And that's important because when you irritate the sebaceous glands or irritate the skin, the sebaceous glands will overproduce oil to compensate. And this actually helps normalize sebum flow while you decongest the pores.
Does the antibacterial properties of the oxygen play a large role in what's working to control acne?
Yes, the oxygen does play a role as an antibacterial agent, and that's, of course, in synergy with the tea tree and other essential oils that we do have in this formula. The pH of the product is also lower, so a lower pH is also going to help the efficacy of the clear and soothe.
The final formula is the Lighten and Brighten formula, which we put together for pigmentation problems.
Well, here the oxygen, as in the Firm product, is very important. Oxygen itself is going to play a dual role here. It does have some natural skin brightening properties, while it acts as a vehicle to help penetrate other actives. In this case, we have something called trans-resveratrol. It is a version of resveratrol that has been modified slightly for skin brightening properties. We also have a natural chelator there called thioetane. Thioetane is an amino acid that chelates out copper, so it works in synergy. And finally, our vitamin C esters have been shown to be extremely efficient skin brighteners. And one thing all of these ingredients have in common is that they are all anti-inflammatory. None of them promote cytotoxicity, which is a fancy way of saying it's not going to kill any cells while doing it, which you do find in the more traditional skin brighteners like kojic acid and hydroquinone. So you have an efficient, modern age, if you want, approach to a problem of pigmentation without irritation and without damage.
If someone was to come in for an oxygen infusion treatment, even in one session, would they be able to see any effect from the Lighten and Brighten treatment?
Well, actually, yes. what you'll have, you won't eliminate any dark spots in one treatment. What you will see, though, is a more clarity and brightness to the skin. And this works in a few ways. The oxygen, of course, helps with cellular metabolism, and the seaweeds promote better circulation. So you have a more evenness of circulation, a more even tone to the skin, and the vitamin C and some of the other brighteners do give you just a little bit more of a sheen to the skin.
Mm-hmm. And then I suppose the repair aspects of the product will that have an effect on the pigmentation or the melanin production? You were saying before that it retards the production. Is this something long-lasting or just momentarily?
Well, repeated use will give you a long-lasting effect. Once you have corrected a problem, assuming that you avoid the irritants like overexposure to the sun, you should see a long-lasting effect.